One of the things that you bring out in the article is the way that Burridge is sort of grappling for language to talk about what you call affective desire.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about dreams. He talks about other sorts of things, and I think you sum it up really nicely with that phrase. Could you talk a little bit more about affective desire? I mean, it seems like it's a result of that mismatch between expectations that seem utterly unrealistic and the desire to do something in the now to bring that about when it seems like everything you do is not working.
Yeah. It's difficult because I would have to situate it more in terms of, I mean, what I wrote, but I mean, I would have to situate it more in terms of the way in which one conceptualizes the existential situation one finds oneself. And there, it seems to me that there is, again, this we have to extend beyond that immediate sense of hope, situated not only culturally, linguistically, and so on and so forth, but also in terms of certain kinds of value orientations, if I can use that term, that are very often highly moralized, so that things like attitudes like stoicism become very, very important. If you have a very stoic attitude, hope is going to be configured, I would imagine, in a very different way than it would be if there wasn't a great deal of value placed on stoicism itself. So I think that's one thing, and that there's a question of the ways in which desires then are mediated. I mean, obviously the Stoics themselves had extraordinary discipline in which we're really a governance of desire, a discipline of desire, if you will. So that the orientation of hope would be quite different than in a group of people who were not particularly subject to that kind of discipline. You can take the opposite, I suppose, somebody who is very wishy-washy effete, where hope, I'm sure, would be a very different thing from that of the Stoic. So that's one aspect of the other is resignation, as I mentioned before, and I think resignation is also an important feature in this whole thing, because it's always posed a problem, resignation. I mean, certainly, people have been stereotyped as being, the resignation of those people who believe in destiny, and therefore, but I don't mean it that way. That can be argued in all sorts of ways as to whether or not they really are passive or not. But I really do mean it in the sense of resignation, in the sense of having a view of the world such that you are part of it, you act within it, but you recognize that what is happening is beyond your control.